Mike Marin, the lead investigator for the Paranormal Roadtrippers, prepares for a unique investigation. He's heading to Vancouver to the home of Taylor James, a collector of morbid paraphernalia. Some people call it murderabilia, those collectibles associated with serial killers. These are items like Jeffrey Dahmer's Bible or a painting by Wayne Gacy. Mike and Taylor have been running research sessions to see if these items in fact have a serial killer's spirit attached to them. And for the next 3 sessions, the Vancouver Paranormal Society will join them to learn more about killer curiosities.
Do you know what tonight is? It's investigation night.
Yeah, been looking forward to this.
So I know you've taken a few of your items out of your collection out for the investigation that could possibly hold some energy on them. What do you have for the unknowing Vancouver Paranormal Society?
So we're going to do 4 things that I kind of thought were maybe heavier items or closely related to cases. The first one being Dahmer's urn. Obviously he was in here at a certain point, right? The bags are still in there that held his ashes. So this is probably the closest you're going to get to a connection to Jeffrey Dahmer, such a big serial killer. We have a Bible that belonged to him as well. It was in his prison cell at the time of his death. It was sent from a church congregation. It's got a lot of signatures from kids who were kind of giving their well wishes to him. That one, when you were here last time, it fell over on a shelf while we were talking.
It did, that was creepy.
Yeah, and then a week and a half later, 2 weeks later, I had somebody else here filming something else, and we were hanging out in the office for hours, and then when we finally started filming, pretty much as soon as he turned the camera on and we started talking, it fell again in the same spot, and that's sort of been my only experience with an unusual thing happening with one of my items. I'm obviously a little desensitized because I live with the stuff, I'm around it all the time, so it was definitely maybe a warning sign of like, okay, this is a cool thing. There's been some kind of weird activity with this in some sense, right? So I want to look at that for sure. We've got the Wayne Gacy Patches the Clown painting. He did a lot of paintings in prison. The Patches the Clown being maybe the second most popular, Pogo the Clown being the number 1. It's obviously signed by him on the front, signed on the back.
Can you show us the back?
Yeah, for sure.
Because last time we were here, I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, it was straight up on the wall. But, so this one, definitely he spent a lot of time with this in front of him, put a lot into it. So more so than like a letter or a signature, he would have had a lot of direct contact with this. And the last piece here is this book, UFO Missionaries Extraordinaire. UFO Missionaries Extraordinary. It was a book from the 70s written about Heaven's Gate. Brad Sturger, who's like a ufologist, very famous kind of UFO guy, he interviewed the 2 leaders of Heaven's Gate, Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Lou Nettles. So the whole book's like a long-form interview. But this was their personal copy. This was inside the Heaven's Gate mansion. I didn't show this earlier, but this is the a seal from the estate auction. They kind of stamped all the books they were selling. So this would have been in the Heaven's Gate mansion at the time of the suicides. I don't know where their library was or if they had books in one specific spot, but 39 people took their lives in that house, and this was there with the bodies when that happened. It was with them for a few days until they were found, and it's also written directly about some of the people who were there. So I definitely think if anything has kind of an energy or connection to a case, this is as close as you're going to get for Heaven's Gate. Perfect. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Taylor with Vancouver Paranormal Society.
Awesome. Come on in.
Excellent, thanks. Thanks.
So investigation, call collectibles, round 1, the Estes Method. So what the Estes Method is, Taylor, is it's sensory deprivation. Kelly's going to be wearing a nice mask.
Is the zebra print part of it, or is it just?
She can go zebra, or she can go blackout edition.
Either way, it'll go well with my lipstick.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And then what she's going to have is she's going to have her headphones on, and it's going to be attached to my SP7 spirit box. And what a spirit box does, the special thing about this one in particular, is I've removed the antenna, and I've removed the antenna AM/FM wires inside. So all it does is white noise.
Yeah.
And it said that spirits can mimic the static to say words. So what I want to do is, with her being a female, I'd like to find one of your items that might trigger that. And we're not going to tell her what it is. We're going to put this on her, give it to her, and turn the lights out and walk out of the room. What item are we giving her?
I mean, I think you would be better at picking what would be the best.
Okay, we will start with...
Perfect.
So right now we'll just EVP session, and if we hear her say words, that's great. That's kind of what we're looking for.
Does she have the spirit box on?
She does. She can't hear a word. She's blindfolded, and she's...
And has the spirit box going?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's safe to talk to us. It's safe to give us a message. We can pass on anything you want. Now's your time.
I had battery drain.
Want some more?
I've got some. I'll do it. Yeah. Or I can do it right now. I just don't want to be loud during our session.
Are any of the perpetrators of these horrendous crimes present with us? Can you let us know by even just making a noise, knocking on something, moving something, saying hello, manifesting yourself so we can see you?
Female voice.
Do you appreciate Taylor collecting all these things?
Male voice. Can't make out what's being said.
If you're connected to one of these items, could you tell us which item you're connected to?
I think I heard a female say Dahmer.
I really have lost my hearing the last year. I say pardon a lot. I'm just curious, whoever's here with us, are you remorseful for what you did? I actually just got goosebumps first time tonight, head to toe. I feel an energy, big time. Yeah, completely. I don't get it all the time. Oh yeah. This is probably like the most significant. Look at my arms.
Oh wow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I have such energy. It's absolutely unbelievable. Like even on the top of my head to my toes. I feel there's somebody here that's remorseful. Yeah, 100%. I just what I feel.
Who's here with us? Who's giving Ronnie those feelings?
in this space or in that room are you connected to? How many of your personal objects are in there?
Uh-huh.
I thought I heard a voice again.
I did.
Whispering into my recorder.
I don't think it was.
No, it's into my recorder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we both heard it at the same time.
But about a minute or 2 minutes into the session, it sounded and felt like someone came up to my left earpiece, just tapped it.
Wow.
Like that was right at the very beginning.
Round 3, Estes Method. Ronnie already is ready to go, has her headphones on, sleeping mask on, spirit box rolling. What item are you giving her?
Are we gonna do the one that I think has less of the connection to you, which I think is the book, because you remember the urn, kind of the big one.
Sure. So, literally, Jeffrey Dahmer's urn. And it still has the magnet.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. Sorry.
So, that being said, she knows what she's got.
Yeah.
So this session is a little different. Kelly,
Yeah.
we added a Flux 2
Yes.
and EDI Plus. So we'll switch up our tools of the trade.
This is your best opportunity to communicate with the living. That I'm sure does not happen very often for you. So we're here.
Voice.
For any of the spirits that might be here and attached to any of the items,
Heard a female voice and it sounded like female. It sounded like it said female.
Ronnie.
The red is going on. Did you hear?
Yeah?
Did you hear that go off?
Did you hear that go off?
No.
The red is on.
Was it going off? I couldn't hear it.
Well, we don't know, but the red is on.
Oh, there we go. Oh. I have to say, I really felt when I lifted my hand, like it was probably about even 30 seconds, maybe a minute before I started to feel it. And then I really felt it, and then I got on this side, felt like a lot of cold. So just for the thing. So thanks for giving me the ashes. Good job. Was this its actual tin too?
Yes.
Well, Taylor's given me the Bible, Jeffrey Dahmer's Bible, and I will hold on to this.
I'll let you get all.
Ready to go?
And then they were like, had some like.
He is holding an object in his hands. Can you tell us the color of that object? Tell Mike the color of that object.
I feel something on my arm, around my arm, right arm.
He said he could feel something?
Yeah, on his leg or something?
On his arm.
On his arm. Thank you for doing that, for giving him that sense of your energy. That's what I asked, so I appreciate that. Thank you. No harm comes to him though, please.
I don't feel alone.
Doesn't feel alone.
Okay. So who is actually in that room with Mike? Tell Mike who you are, please.
Well, go.
It's okay, we're not here to tell you to move on or anything like that. Just want to talk.
No.
Are you connecting with Mike because Mike is able to connect? He kind of has a gift. Do you find it easier to talk to Mike?
Who's singing? Are you guys singing?
No. So Mike just heard someone singing. Is that someone in spirit form singing?
Fuck.
Yeah. Why?
Fuck, yeah. Woo.
You okay?
No, I felt something rush my face.
So
I need to watch that video.
I have
That was probably one of the most extreme feelings I've had doing the Estes Method. No BS. Whatever. Oh, you'll see me jump 10 feet when I feel something touch me here. But then I felt a weird feeling in my throat. Then that's when I really started to get petrified. But I'm like, no, we're here logging evidence. But I literally, then I kept getting a burning feeling here.
You're like empathic.
So Taylor, it's your turn to do the Estes Method.
Yeah.
Your mask.
Thank you.
So blurt out any sort of feelings you have in here. Any voice you hear. It'll be a clear word. You will know.
Sure.
Okay? Our final Estes session with Taylor.
No, can't do that, dude. I can't breathe.
Okay.
I cannot breathe in there.
You can?
Taylor.
Well, my reaction was sudden and intense.
But what did you feel?
Well, just heavy, like I couldn't, not in like a panic or anxiety kind of way. It's a different kind of thing. It was like a, like it felt, constricting almost, you know. And I mean,
Okay.
like I told you, I sleep in there all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I spent all day, every single day in there, and I've never had any weird feelings. And it was literally from the get-go just like a heavy, like uncomfortable to breathe. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to be breathing in here right now.
Interesting.
What's the killer's name for that?
Armin Meiwes.
Armin?
Armin Meiwes, yeah. He's still alive. He's in prison in Germany. Yeah, that's the bath tile from his place, which I've had for years. But yeah, that was like. The second thing here is brand new to call Collectibles. This is a Polaroid of Charles Manson holding a painting that he did, and it was signed by him as well in like a gold pen, which is really nice. But he did a lot of artwork and paintings and little fabric sculptures in prison, but there are very few in private collections. So even a photo of him with one of the paintings is a little rare. But I kind of chose this because not only, you know, is it signed by him, but he was actually there when this was taken. It's like a tangible object, pretty closely connected with him, as close as you can maybe get, unless you have one of the pieces of art. Okay. So what is this actually intended for then versus what we're using it for? 'Cause I know it's not made for this specifically, right?
Okay, the purpose for us as paranormal investigators is to capture audio, you know, that we may or may not hear in the moment. So you got disembodied voices that we're going to hear with our own ears, but we'll also hopefully be captured by our audio devices, the ITC recorders. On the other side of that, you've got headphones on and you're plugged into that recorder. So what we're hoping that you're going to hear or pick up on is the EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, that we don't actually hear with our own ears because it's out of our frequency range, right? However, what you're listening for is the EVP that we can't hear with our own ears. It's out of our frequency range, but it's in the audio file, whether it's imprinted or otherwise. We're not really sure on that.
So the serial killer we're going to pick for this one, because I think he would be all over this, is Charlie Manson. Right. Kelly and Ronnie, you're going to be doing the Ouija session with Taylor on the drums.
At any point in time that you feel that you can take over, and we are reaching out to Charlie Manson, please do so. Oh. Is there, Charles, are you here with us, yes or no? AMMA, it's a huge one.
Mama?
I know, that's what I keep thinking.
Are you calling out for your mother? Your mom? Mama? Yes or no? Yes. What's your mother's name? Your mother's first name? A. M.
What are you trying to tell us?
A.
I'm just...
This is strange. Yes. This is strange. Yes. Are we speaking with Charles, or are we speaking with a spirit from the area? There's a morgue across the street, police department. Who are we actually speaking with? Are you a serial killer? Can you give us another response to that? Are you a serial killer? No. Are you connected to this area? That was strong. Yes.
Wasn't that a twist?
Are you stuck here? No. Do you need help? Yes. Did you die of unnatural causes? That could be a yes. Yes. Do you need help finding out what happened to you, or to let people know what happened to you? Yes. Were you at the morgue, or placed in the morgue across the street? Yes. Are there many souls from that morgue still lingering in this area? That was strong. Yes.
It was.
Would you like us to help you in some way?
Maybe it's
Yes.
another spirit that wants to be helped,
Yeah.
and he's bringing them through.
How
No.
many are there of you? One. Tell us how many souls need our help. Point to the number, please. You can do it. 2.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any spirits attached to the items in here that you're scared of?
Yes, that was strong.
It was.
Really strong. Which item? Can you give us the first letter of the first name of the item, of the owner of the item that causes you anxiety and fear? B?
So this is a bundle of pencil crayons that were used by serial killer Herbert Mullin while in prison. He did a ton of artwork and paintings. He was a serial killer active in the 70s in California, and he thought that his crimes were preventing earthquakes. So he kind of felt like he was on a mission to murder people to prevent these earthquakes from happening. And the thing about these that you were excited about was that you have your drawing planchette. Is that what it's called?
Automatic writing planchette.
Automatic writing planchette, yes, which you can put a writing instrument in. And these were obviously used by a serial killer to create artwork there. So in combination with this, that was a really neat little connection we had.
Taylor, I'm only going to be here for a minute. You're up to bat.
Sure.
With our first experiment. We're going to be doing automatic writing with this Victorian style planchette. We're going to take one of these pencil crayons from Mr. Mullin, screw it in there, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Don't damage it.
Oh, we've got a few extras, so.
All right, and you're going to try and communicate like that. So it's like a Ouija board. You're going to have it in your hands on the planchette.
Yeah.
I'll have a piece of paper here for you, and you let it do its thing. And you can be blindfolded, so you won't be able to see what you're doing.
Sure.
Pick a color, any color.
We'll probably do something dark. It's probably going to show up the best, right?
Sure.
Just in case it's pushing a little light, so. Get this guy here.
All right, screw her in. I'll get you some paper. Herbert Mullin, if you're here, come have a chat with us. Use your pencil crayon. Draw something for us. Can you give us a sign that you're here? Now's your time to spell something. If you don't feel like drawing, well, you clearly are drawing something. You can touch one of us on the shoulder.
I guess he died in prison recently. Was that like a scary? Was that a long time coming? Was it sudden? Are we doing any art at the time that's still there? The prison is not completed. We're writing letters that weren't returned.
I randomly lost power to my gimbal.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what was that noise?
I just slammed my camera down. Alright, we can take the blindfold off and see what you drew. The reveal.
That was beautiful.
It's one of a kind right there.
That moved a lot more than I thought it did.
I only
That's for
saw
sure.
a couple slight ones. Oh, we did move a
You
bit
know
more
what?
than I
That,
thought.
that almost looks like,
DLM.
yeah, it looks like a writing of letters, a name or something
Yeah,
to me.
like a signature.
It totally does. Might be our last for this evening. We'll see. It's getting dark, but what I'd like to see is communication, or try to communicate with Sam Little. He decapitated.
What's his name again?
We just had
This is Sam Little.
the flux just went off, guys.
Awesome.
Is there anyone in here? There was motion towards Taylor's personal collection. And Sam Little, that guy was, wow.
Yeah,
This
he
one?
yeah, Sam. Yeah, he killed 93 women, all over the states for a long period of time, in and out of jail a ton. Never got like booked or convicted on any of that stuff, and then I think it all kind of came out later on. I think what happened is I think that he confessed a certain amount, or he confessed to it, and they were like, "There's no way you killed 93 people for this long," and got away with it. And then they started putting the pieces together and closing cold cases, and they're like, "Okay, that does check out."
So why, if you're here, why are you here? Why are you here attached to these objects? Did you hear that? Whisper?
I didn't hear it.
I heard a whisper. Did you hear that, Taylor?
I heard something.
Yeah,
I
like a
right
whisper?
before it sounded like a quick, like a one syllable, like a quick little thing.
Yeah, exactly, but it almost sounded male to me, like.
Yeah. Yeah. And being that Sam Little is dead, and obviously all of his victims, I think this will be something that is of at least some kind of heaviness, if not just as a physical item.
Is that somebody he killed? He drew a photo of someone he killed, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Sam, can you tell us the name of the woman in this picture? As you did draw this or paint this.
So Sam, why did you kill people? Could you tell me the feeling you would get when you were thinking of killing somebody? What was that feeling? I'm curious if there were some traits or some things that you looked for in your victims before you killed them. Did you want a certain thing in your victims? Did they need to have dark hair, light hair, male, female? And hugely important, I'm curious how you feel now that wherever you are in the afterlife from Earth, how do you feel about those murders now?
Sam, the girl in the photo. Where's she from? What state?
While we're setting up the spirit box, we've got some devices down that hallway and in this room. If you go near them, they'll sound off and light up. At any time during this session, please touch any of those devices. It'll just give us a proximity of where you are in the space. I personally think that, and this is just my own personal opinion, but I don't even know, I can't validate it with anything. I think if you have anything going on, it's probably more connected to the area than it is your stuff.
Well, which is interesting too, because I haven't lived here forever, and I only got in touch with you since living here for something unrelated to that, but obviously being across the street from some kind of old, kind of historic and dark connected sort of spots. It would almost be like a wild coincidence that I got in touch about this stuff, and it turns out that's what's...
Yeah, but at the same time, Taylor, remember the first investigation we did, and yourself and Mike Odell, VPS investigator, had the most prolific experiences in that whole night.
Yeah.
Mike, I think both of you was with the John Wayne Gacy painting, wasn't it? I know Mike Odell.
I had the tile, the bathtub.
That's right.
Yeah.
I held that towel at one point too. That's right. I held it right after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the jury's still out, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is probably a once in a lifetime opportunity, paranormal wise.
Yeah.
In front of us we have Jeffrey Dahmer's watch. And we have his urn, which we've used before previously, but not like this. So what we're doing now is something called the North Head technique. It's a modern take on a seance. So you take the Estes Method and you take a seance and you put them together. Her being as sensitive, this might actually work quite well. You guys are all going to hold hands like a seance. You're going to put your energy into what you're doing. You guys are going to ask questions just like it's a EVP session, and she's going to say whatever word or feeling comes out.
Pain.
Who is it that's feeling pain? Are you a victim?
Mother.
Who is your child?
Yes.
That was a bizarre sound coming out of those headphones.
Blood. Female scream.
Can you tell us when you died?
No.
Can you make your presence known?
Fuck it.
Is this Jeffrey?
Like me.
We're just here because we want to talk to you.
Is anybody by my right shoulder? I'm just noting that I feel something on my right shoulder.
There is nobody by your right shoulder.
Me.
Or is it okay for us to be here?
Yes, watching.
Do you have anything to say to Taylor?
Nothing.
Is there a message that you wanted to pass on to anybody?
Get out.
Nothing here will hurt you at all.
End it.
Should we end the session and try Taylor?
I think so.
All right, third session of the North Head technique. We have some hand-picked items from Herbert Mullin.
Yeah.
Now, who was Mr. Mullin, and what items do we have?
So we have a few things from his prison cell. One of the spoons that he used in prison, a washcloth, and then some prayer beads that he made, but he put together and assembled on the string there. He's a super interesting case that I feel like doesn't really get talked about enough. You know, it seems like it should be more kind of infamous than it is. But he was in California. I believe this was in the late 70s or the early 80s. And he was a serial killer. I think he had, I want to say 17, but I thought somewhere between 13 or 17 victims. And he thought he was being talked to by God, and that he had to kill people to prevent earthquakes from happening that were going to destroy California. So he would get like these messages that he thought were from God, saying just randomly, he'd be driving on the street and they would say, "You got to pull over and kill that guy." He'd end up killing people, almost like a compulsion. Yeah, and that was kind of his story. I feel like there isn't even that much research into if he was schizophrenic or had like an extreme case of OCD or what exactly was kind of driving his temptations to do this, but yeah, pretty low profile case for how big the crimes were. Yeah, and I've got some other pretty personal items. So
So that was all in his prison cell. We have a face cloth, spoon he used, and bead. What kind of beads are those he made?
he called them prayer beads. He had a couple different kinds that he would do. He would make kind of rosaries as well with wooden beads, and
Yeah.
these are just. I was told they were just that he called them prayer beads. So.
Okay. Now, Sonia, you're up to bat.
I know. I'm excited.
Let's rock and roll.
Alrighty.
Are you male or female?
Go.
Each person has had a go or go away or a get out. That's never happened here.
Do we threaten you? We don't mean to threaten you, but do you feel threatened?
No.
Can you make your presence known to us?
First of all,
First of all, what? Do you want to tell us something?
don't know how to.
You don't know how to tell us something?
Three.
That would have been my thing.
Okay.
Did you bump into that, or was that?
That was not me. I wasn't even touching the wall.
What's that shelf? That's the shelf that book fell off too, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't you, Mike?
No, I was up by the air conditioner.
Was that you making your presence known to us?
Is it okay?
Is something coming after you?
Tomorrow.
Herbert, did you make those beads?
You have no idea.
What do we have no idea about? What are you trying to tell us?
I'm back.
Somebody was trying to contact us from across the street. Are you from across the street as well? Or that person?
I'm in. Ending.
You want to end the session? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we gotta go.
Huh?
Get out. We gotta go and get out from all of us. So sure.
This is a business card for Jim Jones when he was working in San Francisco, I believe, for the Housing Authority, which I think was more of like a ceremonial thing than anything else, I believe, because he was obviously reverend at that time. It was People's Temple was huge at that time. And then this is one of the promotional images that would have been sent out of Guyana. They kind of created some promotional content when they were there, like flyers and just things to kind of show like, oh, we're doing great and we're living in paradise. And the last one here is a grave rubbing that I took myself in San Francisco, of the mass grave where I think about 400 people, including Jim Jones and his wife, are buried. When they brought the bodies back, they buried them in Oakland in a graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of a whole assortment of Jim Jones stuff here, People's Temple stuff.
Okay.
You hungry?
Go.
Oh.
That's our fourth go.
Are you wanting us to go?
Do you have a message that you'd like to pass on?
Justice.
Justice for the people of Jonestown?
Can you tell us more about Justice?
Can you give us your name? Did it just end?
Just gone,
That doesn't have.
just went,
Yeah, like
Just went-
cut
yeah,
out
yeah.
like
blank for
completely
a while
silent
there.
for like
Wow.
2 or 3 seconds and then came back.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about
During analysis, the Vancouver Paranormal Society captured more EVPs. Let's take a moment to listen to them.
Woman talking. Woman talking. Woman talking.
May have guessed because it was missing. No, but may have guessed because it was missing. No, but may have guessed because it was missing. No, but how many spirits are with us? You tell Mike how many, please.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was like a ching-ching sound.
I heard a deep, deep voice and it didn't sound like Mike.
How many spirits are with us? You tell Mike how many, please.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was like a ching-ching sound.
I heard a deep, deep voice and it didn't sound like Mike.
How many spirits are with us? You tell Mike how many, please.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was like a ching-ching sound.
I heard a deep, deep voice and it didn't sound like Mike.
Each session had some clues to a haunting.
Female. It sounded like it said female.
The female voices coming through in the Estes Method during session 1. The spirits roaming the area from session 2.
Yes.
Wasn't that a twist?
Are you stuck here?
And victims or family members of the victims during session 3.
Mother.
More investigations are needed to know for sure. And as Kelly said during the end of session 2,
So, I mean,
the jury's still out on these killer curiosities.